Hey guys, so when you're learning a new language, you really want to try to use it as much as possible. And that means speaking. It means having conversations with people, expressing yourself as much as you can. This can help deepen your understanding of the language. But a lot of learners are nervous when they go to speak a new language. They're nervous, they're afraid of making mistakes. So in today's video, I want to give you a trick to help you overcome nervousness and relax a little bit. Let's take a look. So first of all, if you're nervous when you're speaking in English or in your new language that you're learning, if you're nervous on a job interview in English or a presentation or talking to native speakers, congratulations, you're a very, very normal person. I think everybody gets nervous, right? I get nervous all the time. When I was starting out teaching, I was super nervous for my first classes. So that is totally normal. It's totally natural to get nervous. Now, before I share my trick for overcoming nervousness, I want to talk to you a little bit about why it's so important to express yourself in a language that you're learning. So when people learn a new language, they really like to focus on reading, and they like to focus on textbooks and learning grammar, and they like to focus on listening. And the reason is because these activities are very safe, right? They're very predictable. But if you really want to get fluent and you want to learn your language by heart, so you don't have to think so much, you have to use it. You have to speak in that language. And you have to do it in unpredictable situations with other people and conversations and native speakers, right? And the reason is because these situations, they're crazy. It's messy. Crazy things are going to happen. Unpredictable things are going to happen. And that's how you learn, right? It's a lot like learning to swim. If you're learning to swim, you could spend all day reading about swimming, reading about water, getting people's advice. Maybe you can practice in your bathtub, but you're not really going to understand how to swim until you dive into the water and you get the feeling for the water and the feeling of your body, right? It's the same thing with languages. So you really need to do this. You really need to express yourself. So here's a little secret. You are ready, okay? Even if you're a total beginner and you're just learning a language for the first time, you are ready to start expressing yourself and using your language with other people and speaking. Don't wait, okay? It's just like diving into cold water. If you hang back and you worry about the cold, maybe you put your little toe into the water, it's gonna feel cold and you're gonna be worried about it. You just dive in and it's okay, all right? You really need to start doing this. No matter what level you're at, use your language, speak to people, express yourself. So when you start using your new language, you're going to be nervous and you're going to make a bunch of mistakes all the time, right? That's totally normal, especially if you are giving presentations in your new language, or you're speaking to native speakers, or you have a job interview or something, right? Those are important situations. You're going to feel anxious. You're going to feel nervous, okay? So I want to share with you my little trick for overcoming nervousness. And the trick is this: nervousness is your friend, okay? Let me tell you a story about something that happened to me where I discovered this fact. In 2011, I was asked by a good friend of mine to officiate his wedding. And to officiate a wedding means that I would be the one up there at the front of the church, helping them go through their vows together. I would basically conduct the ceremony with this church full of people. Now, at the time, I thought, well, no problem. I've taught lots of English classes. I'll be fine. Anyway, the day rolls around and I'm staring at 200 people in this church and it's totally quiet, and I am super nervous and I'm terrified. I started thinking, this is my friend's wedding. This is a big, important day for them. And if I screw it up, it's gonna be me like screwing up their memory of their wedding, right? So I started to get pretty nervous and pretty anxious. Now, at the time, I had been reading a lot of Buddhist literature, actually. And there was a story that stuck out to me. It's a pretty famous story. I'll link it in the description of this video, where a monk says to the master, how do I escape the cold? How do I escape the heat? And what he means is, how do I get away from the suffering of the cold and the heat? It's annoying. And the master said that to escape the cold, let the cold kill you. To escape the heat, let the heat kill you. And I think the meaning here is that it's not so much the experience of cold or heat that is bad and causes us to suffer. It's more our attitude towards it and our fear of it that makes it problematic and bad. So this stayed with me. And here I was in front of a church with 200 people staring back at me. And I did something a little bit crazy, or at least it seemed really crazy to someone who was feeling these emotions and feeling nervous and afraid. I let the nervousness take over. I encouraged it. I decided, yeah, I am nervous. And I imagined everything going wrong. And I imagined making a million mistakes and screwing up and just feeling how that would feel. And I kind of welcomed it. And within a couple of minutes, I wasn't nervous anymore. I kind of felt excited and I felt happy. And yeah, my heart was still, beating and my hands were still kind of sweaty, but that was okay. It wasn't a problem for me. So the rest of the ceremony went really well. My friend and his wife are happy to this day. So what happened here? So I thought about this experience at the wedding for a long time afterwards, and actually it really changed me as a person. And this is something that I really want to share with people, because I really want people to understand that these negative emotions like nervousness and fear and anxiety, they're not bad experiences. They're only bad because of our perspective, our attitude to them. Now, I think what happens is we see confident people do things, right? We see confident people speak English and they do it easily and they're very relaxed and they don't seem nervous at all. So then when we go to speak, maybe our heart starts beating and our palms get a little bit sweaty and we start to get scared. We get nervous. We feel like it means that we are not one of the confident people. We feel like being nervous means that now we're going to screw up and it's all done. So what do we try to do? We try to stop the feeling of nervousness. We try to stop our anxiety, right? And it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. In fact, the more that we try to stop being nervous, the more nervous that we get, right? In fact, that's what nervousness is. Nervousness, anxiety, is being uncomfortable with the way that you're feeling, right? So what's the answer? You just have to make friends with it. That's it. And I'll tell you a secret. Confident and relaxed people, they're not people who don't feel fear. They're not people who don't feel nervous. They're just people who know that it's okay to be nervous. So my advice to you is this. If you're learning a new language, use it, okay? Express yourself. You are ready to do this. No matter what level you're at, go out, speak to people, talk to native speakers, get a job interview, get a job, get some volunteer work, try it out, okay? This is really gonna help with your speaking. It's going to make you more fluent. It's going to make you more comfortable. All right? And number 2, when you feel nervous, because you will feel nervous, just like everybody, welcome it. Okay? Don't worry about it. Treat nervousness like an old friend. Okay? When it knocks on your door, invite it in for coffee and be friends with it. Okay? Let it wash over you. Don't worry about it. Try it. Okay? Have an awesome week. I'll see you soon.